Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you are doing super on this beautiful Monday morning. My name is Carmen Murray.
And I'm Jessica McIntyre.
And you have tuned in to the witty chatterbots, Women in Tech, empowering everyone. Jess, it's been quite a journey for us, and I can't believe that we are sitting here today together. So maybe let's tell our audience about our exciting show and what to expect.
Sure. I think we were just saying before, it's been about 7 years that we first met at the doors of Ogilvy, trying to head into the digital world. So witty, really, we came up with We're Women in Tech, EE for empowering everyone, so you can hashtag witty. And we just really wanted to be here to share global best practice, what's happening in the world, go through some case studies, some trends, and just really want to empower people through tech and share our learning experiences and later get some more people on the show and answer questions that you might have out there so that we can empower you.
Absolutely. And, you know, we definitely have some an exciting lineup with some amazing heavyweights, movers and shakers. And we being the chatterbots, really, you cannot stop us. So we're going to have a call just now to request that we stop because we really are very chattable. But the most important thing is we really want to empower you guys and let you also be part of some of the exciting trends and see what's happening out there. So today is Boss Employee Exchange Day. So Jess, maybe give me some of your inputs on that topic for today.
Awesome. So basically today you get to go to your boss and make them make you coffee. Go play some golf and make them do all the hard work. So yeah, Employee Boss Swap Day is really around, we want to chat how the changing workforce is looking for different things and how we can actually get together and innovate and build a culture within our company that we can really make a difference to actually our employees pushing our brand out there. And it's really, really important. We've got our millennials and the digital natives coming into the workforce next year. It's really, really important about, you know, how you as a brand actually communicate correctly and build a sense of culture and belonging.
Absolutely. You know what? I do think that it's quite a novel idea to have a boss and employee exchange day within your work environment. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Richard Branson was actually one of the leaders in that many years ago, and I think he still does that, where he would swap roles and he would be in the position of that particular person for the day to understand their challenges, understand how to progress forward. But furthermore is, this is where great ideas are born. And for us being in the tech world, and tech is really the underlying wheel that makes the engine function, and to get better productivity in your workplace, I do feel that it is important to have those moments where you can get better ideas in the work environment. Another thing that I think is absolutely essential is for us to chat about the landscape of the future and how that is going to impact HR 4.0. So the fourth industrial revolution, we're now at the dawn of that big movement and how automation is going to take over this world. And I think, Jess, maybe you can, some of your expertise, and since you're also a mom and seeing this in your real life, maybe take us of some of the things that you are noticing and what you predict for the future in HR and culture.
Okay, cool. I think from my side, I'm quite lucky, yes, being a mom, seeing what the kids are expecting. So there's a lot of talk now where the new workforce wants to walk in and be the boss straight away, and we all want to make our millions. But it's really, really important where we need to build a culture, especially what I'm doing in my business, is where your employees, you need to have that work-life balance. It's really, really important. I think we were chatting about how, there's been a fundamental shift. A millennial will leave for R5 as long as the internet's a little bit better. So how do you keep that talent in there? How do you grow that culture? How do you get that innovation and be disruptive within the market as well? The kids of today, technology is there. It's in your face all the time. It's about interconnectivity. And how do you, as a corporate or a boss as old as I am, not that old, but
Hello,
old.
you're still young. What are you talking about?
But how do you find that balance? So in terms of things like flexibility and being open with your communication. So I actually said something this weekend with PepsiCo, the CEO.
Yeah.
He's got a whole thing where you have to leave work loudly, which is, sometimes we forget when we're a boss that we just sneak out because now we're going to go and have a coffee meet, or I'm a mom and I need to do a school run. But you've got people who are working for you and they need to feel comfortable that they also have a life, and you need to have that understanding between each other as well. Family first. It's about not doing emails on a weekend.
Yeah.
And then getting the tech involved to find where the gaps are in the market and using the tech and taking Africa to the next frontier.
Absolutely. And the one important thing I think that we also need to take in consideration is the millennials, the digital natives. They are going to be our bosses in the future. And I think that we need to embrace that. And I think that there's almost like this fear of one another. So, oh my gosh, they have such a different mindset. But I think that we need to get in the space of co-creation and collaboration in the work environment. I've heard of some amazing programs where they have the Adopt a Millennial. So one of the things about millennials, so they're born after 1984. Simon Sinek actually has quite an interesting talk about the millennials and the challenges that they face. But one thing that is important about the millennials is that they are, first of all, the most charitable generation of our time.
Oh, for sure, yes.
The most, they are so familiar with technology. But the one thing is, because of technology and how it's overpowered their environment, they battle to build meaningful relationships. And I think that we as people from a previous generation, we can empower one another. And so you teach us more about tech and teach us more about social media, because I'm a little bit of a dinosaur when it comes to those things. But maybe you can impart some of your ways of how to build good relationships, and that it doesn't happen overnight with this whole world of instant gratification. For example, Tinder. I like you, swipe to the right and it's a yes, and swipe to the left and it's a no. I don't know. I've never been on there.
I don't know that one either.
But apparently, that's one of the things, is that it's becoming an instant gratification. In everything that we do, that we sometimes expect that out of our relationships, and it takes time to nurture relationships. And that is why I think within the work environment, we need to start looking at how we can cross-pollinate our skill sets to one another to build a better culture. This brings me actually to a very interesting topic, which is Zappos. So Zappos is a very casual and dorky, lots of smiles environment. It's almost like you are looking at the cast of Glee.
I know for sure. They have a lot of fun in that office.
Exactly. And Zappos sells shoes online, but if you get a chance, go and check them out online. But Zappos has become well known for its culture and the heavyweights, indeed, when it comes to that environment. Jess, do you have any comments on Zappos and maybe some of the learnings that we can look at from their perspective?
Yeah, I think I actually watched the video that they just released about, the work environment and pushing that culture. And for me, it was really surprising that they had where employees were not fired if they weren't doing a good job or a good job.
Correct.
It was if they didn't fit into that culture. And I think they had 250 job slots for people to go and work there. And they had I think it was 250,000 applications just to be there, which is really exciting from a brand that sort of came up. And, they give where there's you get free hugs just from the guy that's running in the office. So, everyone's laughing. There's a real good unity and there's collaboration of people that understand, that have been in the business for a long time from an online point of view. Their profits that they've made just by having people that are happy and who actually want to come to work. When you get up in the morning and you're like, oh, I got to go to work. It's got to be about your passion. Yes, I'm passionate. It's, building that culture of passion, of getting out of bed and going and conquering the world every day when you get up.
It's so true. I think they refer to it as the 10 core values.
Yeah.
And with these 10 core values that are instilled in every team member, employees, they are basically fired if they don't meet those customer core values. And I think it's such a powerful thing to get people to align with the culture. And actually, I just received a message from Sasha at Talented that mentions here that understanding and engaging your team, making employees feel valued and allowing time. It's expensive to hire the wrong resource. That's why culture fit is key. That's so true. And that is exactly what it's all about. I believe that even at Zappos, that new employees are offered $2,000 to quit after the first week of training if they decide the job isn't for them, which I think is a powerful takeaway from their learnings and the approach to the business. I believe that they even have a happiness coach and giving hugs out all day and making sure that everybody's happy and providing coaching for those people and taking them into the next level, that in making sure that people have job satisfaction, which is such an important thing these days.
Yeah, and I mean, I think also with the whole, HR 4.0 that's coming up and the changes, it is about that. It's about that collaboration. It's about that empowerment, empowering your employee and making them feel that there is actually something there that they're doing something that they're passionate about and actually making a difference. That is huge within business.
100%. Ladies and gentlemen, we just have a quick little break and we will tune in with you shortly.
brandlive.co.za.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.bstownmedia.co.za.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za, an industry first in the world of internet radio. Not only are we an internet radio station, we are an internet radio platform for your brand. So why not expose your brand to potentially thousands of listeners and improve your customer relationships and brand equity with podcasts and live broadcasts? Be sure to check brandlive.co.za for more information. brandlive.co.za, harnessing the power of internet radio.
Right now, let's harness the power of tech in this fourth industrial revolution, and especially with an HR 4.0. So let's just clear the elephant in the room. HR 4.0. The first HR 4.1, what HR didn't have to use any technology. So HR 2.0, the HR tech streamlined processes and focused on hard skills. Then HR 3.0 is your HR tech supported HR with the introduction of the web and accepted of soft skills. Today, we are seeing an emergence of HR tech, and where this is becoming a powerful tool for employees and career owners to create a balance and to bring productivity forward. So one of the things that I believe, I remember many years ago, I used to work in the hospitality industry. And in the hospitality industry, every time when something goes wrong and there has been a crisis, you had to write a procedure to make sure that this thing will never happen in the future, and what are the preemptive steps that you would need to take. And then you would write in your SOP manual. And I think you would start off with 100 pages, and then after 3 years, it sits on 300-400 pages, but it's learning from your learnings, but it becomes...
Did anyone ever read that?
Well, nobody ever read that. And I think the powerful thing about technology is that you can actually use chatbots now or an AI, whereby you can create your SOP manuals on a live platform. So if something goes wrong, you can go and search and you can learn from the experience and how to optimize and improve that. What's your views on that, Jess?
Well, I think tech is just, the speed at which it's moving is just amazing. I mean, for going and creating things. And I think also what tech allows is, instead of someone actually sitting and doing that huge document, like you had to sit there and go and create it, with technology moving forward is there's a lot of input from a lot of different parties. So what you find from a business point of view is that you actually have more buy-in, because there's no more top-down, it's the collaboration. So it's getting that valuable feedback that my voice has been heard. And you know what, I was part of this creation of this actual procedure, so I'm actually going to fit into that. I mean, I look from a point of, even like we started where we were all broadcasting, like you know, and now it's got to where there's really niche, small communities of people who have the same passion. So we're finding groups where we sit together and say, you know what, we really care about this together, so let's create something together. So it's not something that's like coming from different sides. I do with my social media stuff, we've seen a lot with the corporates of saying, well, the tea lady can break your brand now. Her opinion really matters.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, someone can say something on social, the speed to market is just absolutely scary. It's from a brand protection point of view. And your employees are your best resource that you have. Like, if people are happy and coming to work and creating things and really believe in what you stand for, that's key within the market.
100%. And I think there's a few businesses that really does that well. I think MultiChoice is one of them. F&B, definitely one of them.
For sure.
Where they create and cultivate an environment of innovation. So it's almost like that 3 C's of connecting to people, and the one is you know, connecting with experiences. The first C is connecting with experiences and creating within your culture an environment where people have experiences, and you can enable that through tech. You can streamline some of your processes using tech. I know Mobitainment, for example, have done some amazing work for call centers and for the staff to educate them on new programs and stuff coming out in the marketplace by gamifying it using mobile. The other thing is, the second C is co-creating. Everybody wants to hear their voices heard. And sometimes the person on the ground that's actually dealing face to face with the customer is the person that's going to bring the most valuable information to your you know, your systems and some new products that might be developed.
For sure. Just on that point, Carmen, I mean, I've seen it as well, where you go in and we used to sit with the marketing people and the CEOs, and then we'd come up with a plan and go to market. And now we don't do that anymore. You get the call center involved. You say to them, like, if you could stop one question that you get asked simultaneously every single day, like what could we take 100%. Away from you? It's the feet on the ground.
Yes.
There's no longer, we're not siloed anymore. It needs to be a collaborative experience.
100%. And I think that I was actually sitting in a meeting once where we were talking about, you know, there was this workshop that was done with the CEO and with all of the variety of staff. And one of the biggest ideas that came out of the room was one of the receptionists. And she was so afraid to speak in front of the CEO that they had to move the CEO out of the room. And that's the important thing is that we need to be confident to have our voices heard and not be judged for it. And, you know, I think also some of these environments, I think Facebook does that well, where, you know, what's your thoughts, what's your ideas, put it in a suggestion on the board, and let's see how we can, you know, shake the trees with it. But the last C of culture, which I think is also important, is care. So care is like, you know, care about the future of your employees and job satisfaction. You know, it's important to educate and always make sure that they're ahead of the curve, because if they need to feel confident in their jobs, and with an environment, especially with technology changing so quickly, consumers' behaviors changing so quickly, that it is impossible for everybody to stay in touch with what's happening, is keep them up to date so that they can actually feel empowered to drive your business forward.
Yeah, that's something that's really important, what I've sort of instilled as well within our processes with tech. So, for example, like people that are working for me, they're only allowed to work 6 hours. The other time you need to be learning, you need to have that hungry brain to get that knowledge and care around, you know, if you're having a bad day, then you can stay at home. if you want to have like some advice, then you can. It's really around having that open environment and caring about the actual individual and where they want to get to.
100%. And I think closing off, I think all you guys out there, I know that things are tough, but let's see how we together can stand up for our employees, create a culture, but also cross-pollinate. And so, okay, right, you've got some amazing ideas, and be open to listen to that and look at the culture, the values, the people, and the tech that brings it all together, and see how you can shift your business moving into a time of change. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't wait to have you on Witty Chatterbots when we will be back, and join the Witty movement on hashtag Witty, WITEE. Over to you, Jess. Thank you.
And to everyone else out there, go and make your boss make you some coffee. You deserve it.
Woohoo! Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
brandlive.co.za. Harnessing the power of talk radio. brandlive.co.za.